So Giga Cloud Technology, now they kind of brand themselves as a technology company. Now I'm not in agreement with that. I think they're more of an industrial. They're like a logistics company and they do logistics for, online companies that want to sell big products online. Giga Cloud will do the shipping for them, which is a really good idea. We're buying all kinds of stuff online, and some of these products are pretty big. Giga Cloud has the expertise, the right equipment, the right logistics um, system to get the job done. I like that, but they're not a technology company. I think they're more logistics, like UPS or FedEx. So that would just be my note, my little disclaimer on Giga Cloud. Now these guys, their fundamentals look really, really good. I'm going to show you. I've done a full valuation on these guys, so it's easy to jump in and kind of go through them. Now, these tiny companies, this is a $739 million company. The If this thing takes off, you can double your money in 3 months. They just really, really move up quickly because it's such a small cap. The problem is that investors are not all that interested in these really small companies. And if you look at the PE, it's just not it's not a very good PE. You'd think, if this company, I believe they're growing really fast. I mean, what's going on? Why are investors not liking the company? Very high growth. Gross margins are a little low. Back to my point of these guys are more of an industrial. They're more like a FedEx, a UPS, which they have lower margins because they have to pay for the trucks, the equipment. They have to pay the employees that are going to be delivering the product. And so, having said that, it's still a high growth company, right? So it's still interesting. And maybe it's an acquisition target for one of the big players. So I think the fundamentals look really good. That growth is really, really, really good. When we look at the quarterly, even the quarterly, the growth is really good. But the market just doesn't have a lot of confidence in this particular stock. It's run up a bit and then it's really come down. So, you know, this is one where if it starts to work, it's going to work really well for an investor. It's just a really unknown name. The margins are a little low, but overall, this thing values really, really well. I'll show you the intrinsic value that I calculate for Giga Cloud. So these guys generate good free cash flow. And I mean, if you just look at the cash flow, it's going to be worth like $2 billion, the company is, but they're under $1 billion. So this one's a really valuable company. It's just not popular. People don't know about it. And they're generating cash. I think their business is a really good business. It's not like, hey, people are going to order fewer things online. No, it's the opposite. They're going to be ordering more things online. So there's a lot of things I like about GCT. The piece that's always going to be a limiting factor is just there's not a lot of awareness of this company. So that's always going to keep the stock price, or that could keep the stock price low. Just when you look at reasonable valuations on it, it's heavily discounted. So I got in and got out of GCT. I could see myself buying this stock again. But it's just a really valuable company. And was it Android PC? What do you think? What do you think of GCT? Are you an investor in GCT? What do you plan to do with GCT? I'd love to hear that. And while you type that in there, you see that analysts, I'm not alone in that, feeling that these guys are heavily discounted. Analysts also believe this thing's, really discounted. Yeah. So you're already in the stock. This thing is discounted. If they keep performing at this level, let's say they become a $2 billion market cap company, it's just going to be hard to ignore these guys. So, um, it's just very good fundamentals. So GCT is looking good. Um, I might pick some up at the beginning of the year. I think it's, what the one thing I would want, let's take a look at the chart. So you see that the company over the 5 years, see, there's the 5 year. I'm not a technical trader. I'm a long term trader, but there's some things that a chart could tell me. And what I'm looking for is investors have realized that GCT is really discounted. It looked like investors had found this company here in September and it rose nicely, 45%. And then it gave up all those gains. So what happened? It's like it would have been logical if investors found it and it kept going up, kind of went from here to here, but it didn't do that. So that's kind of a surprise. I think most definitely this thing can get back up to $40 per share. Very, very realistically. So this thing's going to be on my watch list, and I might pull the trigger in a couple of weeks and rebuy into GCT. There's just too much value there to ignore. Now, did I put GCT in there? Where did I put GCT? Yeah, so I put them in technology. That's where they're classified, but I do not agree with the classification. I think they should be more of an industrial because that's where UPS, FedEx, and the other logistics players are. So I'm going to move this guy to a buy. I'm kind of pooling some cash, and I do want to get into growth. I think small caps have been working. They can continue to work. With regards to e-commerce, maybe one of the concerns that investors have with Giga Cloud and players in the space is that Donald Trump's come in and he used the whole tariffs you know message is, hey, he's going to be a big tariff guy, and if he puts a lot of tariffs out there, maybe there is going to be a slowdown in e-commerce. I don't think so. I think in America, um, we we're a consumer economy. People want their big TVs, they want their furniture, they want their cake, and they want to eat it too. So I don't